Hi Luminaires, it's 8 o'clock here in Atlanta, Georgia, and my street, Midtown, downtown, they are cheering and fireworks go off every night at 8 o'clock, and it's all in celebration of the healthcare workers during their shift changes at the hospitals. It is, I don't know if you can hear it, it is such a wonderful thing to witness and be a part of, but tonight I've decided to be here with you. I did do my crafting today, my witch crafting. I made some masks where you can put in a little filter. We have 9 different doctors on our street and they don't have enough supplies, so we are making what we can for them to use and to give to patients and everyone else. It's pretty wild. Collaboration, guys. Love from Colorado. Hi guys. So tonight I'm asking if you're a swinger. Fireworks are still going off. Let's take a moment. Cheers to all the doctors, nurses, healthcare staff, admin, cleaners, food deliverers, grocery store managers. Joey Ziegler, that's you. To all the cashiers, to everyone out there who is upholding their line of duty during this very challenging and indifferent time. Cheers! Alright guys, tonight we're going to learn a little bit more about pendulums. There's a pendulum. We're also going to learn how to make them from everyday household items. And we're going to learn how to program them, use them, store them, and respect them. That's a big, guys. Respect. Hi from Iowa. Hi, Sarah. New Orleans, North Carolina. Dawn, it's good to see you here again. Hi, Sarah. Alaska. Ashley Ways, how are you? Tell me, is Alaska beautiful right now? What's going on? That's on my place to see, like Seattle, all the Northwest. I had to do the never eat soggy waffles, northeast, south, and west. I flip my east and west all the time. At least I know where my head and my feet are. Amber, hello from Kamloops. That's right. We were just talking to Mariana Harangozo of Akashic Rants in Kamloops and wondering, what do we do about our event? Because Canada, you guys are handling this mass pandemic really well and kind of shutting down the borders. You're a good example. So we might not be able to get there, but we are coming sometime. Rebecca, hi. Hi, Mary Lloyd. You guys are awesome. Arizona, Kathy, weighing in the desert. Missouri, I'd love to hear your accent. Another Iowan, oh my God, Lisa. 2 Iowans in one thread. That's all I could ask for tonight. Hi, Sarah Hoffman. Oh, represent Australia. You are up really early, aren't you? Thank you so much for that. Houston. Hi, Beatrice. Oh, how do I say it? Beatrice. There you go. Kristen. You guys are beautiful. In California, signing in. Hi, Deb. Iowa 3. Stop, Iowa. I want to get a little, it's not woo-woo, it's true, in like the shape of Iowa State. Wouldn't that be fun? I had a really good time with the YouTube membership. I launched it on Friday kind of by accident. Little do you know, when you finish the steps and like I clicked out, I clicked the go live and I wasn't all ready for it. Like, we're doing our monthly spirit message tomorrow that goes up for the 2nd tier in the membership program. So where spirit just talks about that month and what energy is happening and how to handle it and like where to place yourself. And I got to make these emojis, and I made them out of the little, it's not woo-woo, it's true ghosts. They're hysterical. I had such a good time. I really want to like put them on things and make stickers and stuff, but that's, I mean, I have all the time in the world, right? Hey, Nancy. Tell Courteous I said hello if he's not sitting next to you. Hi, Jay from Dallas. Jen. Although I live in Indianapolis, I'm from Wisconsin. Can't wait to talk to you in person. Please tell me you've kept your Wisconsin accent. It's awesome. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Dakotas. I love it. I love, love, love it. Yes, just south from Canada. Hi, Susan. Michigan. You guys are representing. Jillian. Hi. So, want to know if you guys have this. Hi, Jamie Davis from St. Louis. That's so cool. Do you guys have something that can act like a pendulum? So let's talk about it for a little bit. It's really fun saying hi to everybody, by the way. I just kind of pause and I let everybody kind of come in and get settled first and foremost. I'll share with you. Yesterday I did not get to speak with you guys. And yesterday I think I cried 4 times before 10 a.m. and had like one tiny breakdown where I had to stop where I was and go, you better breathe, girl. You can hear my voice? I've been outside. The pollen just eats me up. It's really heavy here in the South right now. So it was the anxiety over the PPP loan, the Payment Protection Program. And it's only supposed to be administered through certain banks. And if your bank isn't part of that program, then you're not going to get it because it's a first come, first served basis. So it's pretty much somebody saying, hey, I'm going to help you guys, and I want to help everybody, but if you're not part of that bank that I chose and you don't get in there first, you're not going to get anything, but I'm going to tell you I'm going to help you. So my energy started to play a part in the scarcity program. There's not enough, I need to hurry up, and I'm dyslexic, so doing numbers for me takes a little bit more extra time. And I had to fill out these forms and know all the taxes, and these are not my strong suits. I say my strong suit is communicating to spirit and talking about it, but definitely not doing taxes. So I had a financial advisor, and I had a business coach, and I had my bookkeeper, and I had my CPA. And then I had my friend, Laura Boone, love you, who was kind of coaching me along the way, and it was just a lot of people's voices and me and a heavy learning curve. And so then after I taught class on Friday, our 30-minute, $10 classes rock. Holy cow, it was so much information. I was so thrilled about them. Thank you for letting me do this. We've got 2 more coming up on Friday. Keep a lookout for them. And I'll be doing some free ones too. So if your $10 is a little out of your budget right now, which is kind of understandable, there's some free classes. But after doing that, I was like, I can't look at anybody else. I'm fried. And I did this wonderful chill out meditation, pulled some weeds, and then after that I was like, all right, daughter, let's hit the trail. And we went out walking. And I'm going to post what she did to get me out of my funk. I'm going to put it up on YouTube. And it's real. It's not scripted. And when I watch it, I still laugh my ass off. Like our kids, aren't they funny? They're like complete independent characters. I don't even know how to say it. It's hysterical. Okay. California. Seattle, Tiffany, Nikki. Good to see you guys. Brianna, you should do a giveaway for a free reading. How fun would that be? I'd also love the t-shirt with your JB logo on one side and the words "It's not woo-woo, it's true-true" on the other. Oh, that's fun. We could do that. Do you have a little store on Teespring, and it's Teespring Jamie Butler Medium, and we have the little ghost and it says "It's not woo-woo, it's true-true." The bag is awesome. It's got a little zipper compartment in it. I didn't know that, and I love it so much. But we can simplify that too and take the ghost off and just do the words. I was just about to say something I totally spaced. Replying to Emmy. Okay, let's get into pendulums. Let's get into swinging. So your pendulum is going to need to be at least I'll use this one. I could use this. So something flexible. It could be fishing line, which is normally what I use. This is fishing line. It could be yarn and necklace, string. It could be leather. It just, as long as it's movable. If it's really, really stiff, you don't want to use it because it's going to impede how the energy moves. So you want it to be at least the length of your hand from the middle of your finger to the base of your palm. Normally that's anywhere between 5 to 6.5 inches. If it's a little bit longer, I'm fine with that. But if it's shorter, I'm going to say, let's get you a longer one. Got it? Then you want to get something heavy. It could be anything from a bullet to washers. These are 2 washers. There's not even one, right? Because one wasn't heavy enough. So I went and got 2 and put them together. I mean, my first pendulum was yarn and washers. And I used it forever until it broke. And then my dear friend Micah Abram, love you, my college bestie, bought me this beautiful one with a little moon on it, and it's rose quartz at the bottom. But your pendulum, it doesn't have to be gorgeous and fancy to work. Nope. It could be something just like this. It could be, I've even done it with the weights that you use in fishing to sink the hook. I don't know what else they're called. I'm not a fisherman. Hi, Jesus. Hey, Bear, it's good to see you here. Oh, Sarah, you hear my voice? It's way low. I feel fine. It just gets up in my sinuses and my throat. Watching while you're sewing masks. Are you? Are you doing yours too? I could teach the whole class like this, and we could have some fun, but you won't be able to hear me. Best of luck with the banks. Well, I was able to submit today, and I found a bank who is helping others that aren't banking with the ones that are approved. So there is some compassion and great love out there, and it's the Nimbus, NYMBUS, and they are working with small businesses to do the PPP loans and only taking those who don't have a bank to go to submit their application. Because I go to a credit union and they haven't been approved for it yet. And even my SunTrust with BB&T, who's now Truist, says they're approved, but they don't know when they're going to be able to submit. So I've got that off my chest today, and that's going to be really nice energy if we receive it coming into the center to keep it afloat. Lisa's sharing. She almost had a meltdown last night. My ears will not unplug, and that would have made it worse. I would have cried. I know. There's just so much is going on. We're going to be able to talk about it with this guy. So pendulums. Pendulums have been used for eons, for many, many, many centuries. This is not something new, but the way it got popularized was through magicians. So thank you guys. And it wasn't really for the spiritual kind of way that we want to use it, but they would steal people's jewelry. So they'd put on these big shows, and they'd walk through the alleyways or the chairs, what do you call them? Aisles. There you go, aisles. Thank you guys. And they would say, oh, pretty lady, you're so beautiful. Let me tell you your future, but first I need your necklace and I need your ring. And then they would do all this magic and trickery and swing the pendulum. And then meanwhile, they would take it and not give it back. The show would be over and they would be gone. So that's kind of how it got popularized. I'll say it one time. That was in the late 1800s. But then when we got into war is when it was being used for tactical reasons. My grandfather used it. He was in World War II, and he was a sharpshooter, and he was in the 1st Marines, and 1st Division of the Marines, and he ended up stranded on an island with his group. He's only 19 years old, and he's leading them in war, and they didn't have water. They had a Coke bottle, and they had a coin that had a hole in it. And so they set it, they would drop the coin in, and they'd put a little stick on top, and it would dangle in the Coke bottle, And then he said as many times as the coin would hit the sides of the bottle was how many feet deep the water was that they were able to drink. And so they would move the Coke bottle around at night and see if they were able to, because they couldn't forage because they were surrounded, and they would look for water. They were stuck there for quite a while. I don't enjoy talking about war. I don't think it's good for either side. And a lot of stories come out of it. My heart does break that there was that kind of struggle, but it's a good example of how they were using pendulums to find fresh, potable water. Most of the time you're using dowsing rods. And dowsing rods are same kind of scrying technique that pendulums are, but they're used with a stick. Normally it's a witch hazel stick, and it's in the shape of a Y with the tail, and you hold the top sides of the Y. And witch hazel is pretty flexible, and you can twist it to where it creates tension, and then that tail would bend and pull towards water, oil, or whatever your intent was that you were looking for. So dowsing rods tend to be more directional, whereas pendulums can be used for more precise yes and no, is it here or not here. And some of the great stories that I've heard about pendulum using was from a couple who was redoing their attic, and they were laying flooring, and they must have put in 1,000 nails. And when they finished and they went downstairs, they noticed that the electrical blew, and they knew it was a nail and a wire, but which nail was it? And so what they did, and what you'll learn to do, is you'll take your space and you'll draw what your space looks like, and you'll break it down into quadrants, and you'll number them 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you'll hold your pendulum over each quadrant, and you'll say, is the whatever here? Are my keys here? That's a good one, right? Is my wallet here? Is my sunglasses here? Is the nail here, 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 here? 4 was a yes. And so then you take number 4 and you break it down into quadrants again. You find the yes, you break it down into quadrants, and then you can narrow it down to the one specific spot. They were able to pull out the nail. Everything was fine. They didn't even have to repair the wire, which is kind of strange. I think I would have tore up the floor and repaired the wire. You know, fear of fire. Come on, guys. Pendulums have been known to find missing people, animals. They've been known to be used, like I mentioned, during war, but to map out where their enemies are, where their submarines are located, where their divisions are, where their front lines are, where bombs are hidden. And you can do that with map work. So just like this, you get out your map, and you would begin by stating your intent. Anytime you're going to do any work, dowsing rods, scrying, communicating to spirit, meditating, you want to make your intent. And your intent is where your head and your heart are on the same page, and you're able to give gratitude, thanks, call in your team, ask for protection. You're going to tell them what you're doing and kind of why you're doing it. So there's like 5 parts to that. Mine, I've said it before and I've written it into chat threads, but what I say is, Father, Mother, God, thank you for surrounding me with the golden white light of love and protection. I call upon my angels, guides, friends, and relatives to come forth and support me. And then I'll state what I'm doing. So support me in using the pendulum. I ask that the answers come to me in all honesty to support my highest health, wealth, and abundance, or whatever I'm looking for in my questions. So get clear before you use anything that relates to energy or spirit. If you're muddled, your answers are going to come in muddled. If you're frustrated and you're pissed, like, why aren't you talking to me? This is so stupid. I don't know why I'm doing it. All right, great. So they're going to stay back, and they're going to make your story a reality. So careful what you're manifesting, even in your frustration. So you take a deep breath, you get grounded, situated, then you start asking. Okay? State the intent, be clear. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. So if you don't have an intent, write it down. Write it down. because it's sometimes a lot to remember. Who are you believing in? Who are you directing it to? Who are you calling in? What do you need? Ask, for protection and give thanks. And write it down and then just unscroll it and unfold it and read it every time before you do something. And before you know it, you'll have it down. Okay. So hopefully with all my chatter, you have managed to find something that is the length of your hand, whether it's a necklace, string, yarn, we went over a list, and something heavy to put on the bottom. Doesn't have to be fancy. In fact, I'll use my non-fancy one. Here it is. So scientists, when they observe somebody using a pendulum, they go, that's crazy balls. We don't really, I'm looking for pens and pencils because I want to show you something, and I am so cool. I cleaned my space so I wouldn't trip over stuff, so now I don't have it. Let's see. I'll use push pens. Here we go. Science says, listen, that pendulum thing doesn't work. We can't explain it to you because it's not magnetic. It's not being pulled to the Earth's magnetic field. So what we think it is your small muscle twitch reaction. Whereas you're staying calm as ever and very still, you're not, because your muscles are in constant action, twitching. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to touch these without applying pressure. See my tiny movements? So they're a little bobbly and they come back and they move around. That's to show you the amplified small muscle twitch reaction that we have in our body, even when we think we're super, super still. You're not. But that's okay, because it's what we need to amplify the answers and the energy that's coming through you. So when I think of a pendulum, I think of one of those bull horns. You put next to your mouth and you're like, everybody gather around! Your message was very, little, because your voice is maybe little, but now a mile away everybody could hear you. That's what this is. Your internal connection to spirit and the beyond and the heavens may feel very internal and very small, but as soon as you have an instrument or a tool like this, even tarot are ways to amplify your inner spirit message and your responses. So what you're going to do now, you've stated your intent. So some of you might have a brand spanking new instrument. Just like any living object, let's just stop and laugh about that for a second. Just like any living or inanimate object, it all holds energy, and energy holds memory. So you have energy in this new instrument, and it might not know who you are, so it needs to bond with you. One of my favorite places to keep any instrument, tool, or any spiritual item that I'm trying to connect to a little bit more, even my journal, even crystals, my pendulums, are these two places. Are you ready? I know. Every time we're together, I share something just a little bit more personal. I put them in my pillowcase on the bottom side. My bed is my church. We kind of talked about that in class on Friday. My temple, and then my place of worship is my bed. That's where I do my meditations. That's where I download my thoughts. It's where I am for the most hours in an entire day. So it's very intimate. So I put my new instruments in my pillowcase underneath. So it's going to merge with my energetic field, and we're going to create a bond. Second place is the old fancy pocket that tends for every woman right in your brassiere. So for men, you got pockets, put it in a pocket. If you don't like carrying stones, crystals, and things of that nature in your bra, then please put it in your purse, or you can even tuck it into your sock. Do you have to have it with you 24/7 for it to work? No. Do you need to at least carry it for a few days so you get a better understanding of how it works? Yes, I'd like for you to at least carry it 3 days. And with every new instrument or technique that you use, whether it's meditation, a Ouija board, whether it's tarot, runes, crystals, pendulums, dowsing rods, I'd like for you to approach it like it's brand new for the first 21 days. Or you could say for the first 21 times that you're using it, because you might not pull these things out every day. I mean, come on, life is happening. It's very different now, but it's happening. So why do I say the first 21 times you're engaging with it? It takes 21 times to make or break a habit. And if I can get you in the habit of repeating this new introduction with your instrument every single time, then you are going to build a stronger boundary setting, respect, and relationship with the instrument you're using. Does that make sense? So you're going to approach it kind of brand new each time. You'd be like, hey, pendulum, what's up? I'm going to state my intent. And then with pendulums, we're going to ask for the first 21 times that you use it, what is my yes? What is my no? What is my maybe? And what is my, I don't know what you're asking. Ask it again. And there are distinct ways that your pendulum can move. So pendulums work best if they are held, the string is held between pointer and thumb. So why am I being so particular? The pointer finger is negative energy, feminine energy. I don't know why my throat. Spirit wants to talk. Female energy is grapefruit juice. You know that's not going to help. And then the thumb is neutral. Neutral energy helps you stay very grounded. Feminine energy is very fluid. So it'll move. It'll be like, oh, what's happening? Okay, we can work with that. We can do that. And so whenever we want to show up and do any kind of spirit communication, we want to have more of that vibe. Of course, we want to be confident, which is the masculine positive energy, which is this finger. But we're going to use this pointer and thumb. You can even wrap it around and just hold it. Again, you want it about the length of your hand. And then you're going to place your other palm, let's see, up underneath, about an inch off of your palm of your hand. Not this far away. That's too much. Bring it in. You like this thing. Get closer. Won't bite. And you're going to ask, what is my yes? What's my yes, pendulum? Mine's spinning clockwise. If yours is spinning small right now, I want you to go, make it bigger. You see it? It's really nice. And then once you agree to it, like you're like, oh, I see you. I acknowledge that. Thanks. It'll quit. And then you can ask your next question. So look at that. I've said thanks, and it started to slow down. So I'm going to ask, what's my no? Be patient. Look at that. It's going counterclockwise now. So I want to show you on your hand. Here's my whiteboard at home. Are you ready? There are several distinct ways your pendulum could move. One could be clockwise, which will be a spin that will look like that. Another, of course, is counterclockwise. Stay calm with it and keep asking your question. You can ask it in your head or out loud. You know, you don't have to talk out loud all the time. Or it could go counterclockwise. So that's great. We've got these spins. Then some people use, let's think of it as a compass, north and south. So straight down, north and south, or east and west, across the palm, this way. So those are four very distinct ways that your pendulum could move. So right now we could already program your pendulum to move differently for 4 answers. The fifth one I enjoy quite a bit. It's when the pendulum does nothing. It holds fast and it like wiggles and jumps. I'll see if that's usually I don't know what you're asking. What is that again? Let's see. Let me see. I like to rest my elbows on things, but maybe I can push my camera back. Let's see. You guys doing okay? Okay. Let's see. So my elbows are on the table. Okay, Pendulum, what is my... You just asked a question I can't answer, and you need to ask it again. So if you're super heady, see how it's not going anywhere? It's like, I have nothing to say to you. So this is a point where it's an answer when it's not moving. So just staying stagnant, that's one. But then some people get super creative and they go pinky to thumb and pointer to palm. So you can also do X's. But the main programming I want you to do, and we've done two, what is my yes? And wait for it to move. If it's not moving, or if it's moving just a little bit, ask for it to be bigger. Make it bigger, make it bigger. If it's not moving, and you're already like, what the hell is going on? This is so crazy. It always works for everybody else. Why doesn't it work for me? Here's what I want you to do. It's unraveling. I want you to say again, what is my yes? And then I want you to look to the side. This is how I built my relationship with pendulums. Because I can hear spirit. Why would I pull out a tool? They're in my head. They're like, I'll give you the answers. And I'm like, I want to do the pendulum, guys. So I would turn my head and I would watch TV. Or I would watch like the birds outside or the trees. I would completely ignore it. And if there was nothing to do, I would start to sing. And here's my go-to pendulum song. I'm so sorry for this, guys, but here it goes. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So it's spinning clockwise, which is my yes. I hope you're giggling somewhat. Anyways, take your mind off of it. So if you're one of the heady people and very logical, and this is really just itching at you, focus somewhere else and let the pendulum move. Relax your arms, relax your hands, put your elbows down. We don't want to get you in an uncomfortable position. You've already stated your intent. You're going to find out what's my yes, what is my no, and what is my, I don't know. You just asked a stupid question. You need to re-ask it again. So I want you to know those three. Then, if you've got a spirit guide that you work with a lot, then I want you to program it. So let's say you work with Maitland, and you're like, Maitland, I need to know if it's you playing with this. Are you talking to me? So when you pull out your pendulum, you say, Maitland, what's your sign? Or Archangel Michael, what's your sign? Or Jesus, what's your sign? And then that energy is going to move through you. Again, how it works is they're pushing their energy through the top side of your head, through your crown chakra. It's going to come down, hold in the heart, and it's going to come out in the hand. It's going to come out in the other hand, and it's going to connect. So what we have is, when we're working with both hands, we have a positive charge and a negative charge, and this sucker in the middle is kind of like the neutral element. And so we are pushing our energy just like we were to jumpstart a car, where it's coming against each other, and it's going to have an expression, and that expression is going to move the pendulum, and the pendulum is going to amplify the answer that I'm going to say you already know, but you definitely want the validation or the help. So when you're asking questions that you already know the answer to, I normally say, why waste the time? But I do understand that you want to have some kind of point of validation. But at the same time, if you're a person who says, I want to communicate with spirit, but every time I do it, they have to go through a 15-minute questionnaire and jump through hoops and barbed wire and avoid the bullets and dodge the dragons to prove that it's them, it's going to get real exhausting for you. So I'm going to ask, what's your giving point? Where are you going to say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to play with this with respect. I'm going to say anything is possible. I'm going to set my boundaries. I'm going to hold my posture up. I'm just going to see what happens. And I'd like for you to approach it that way with your pendulum. And if you can't hold that energy very long, I say set a timer, 3 minutes. You can get several questions in 3 minutes, then pack it up, and then invite your head back to go, what the fuck was that? I don't even know what's going on. How did they know that answer? Why did they even say that? That's probably not true. And then I'm going to ask for you to journal what your answers are so that you can go back and look at it and go, oh, what? That was crazy. I can't believe it knew that. And I didn't know that. And I didn't want it to be real. And it was. So this is how you can use instruments or tools to talk to spirit in a very healthy way. Again, I just want to repeat one more time. I'll use my nice one. The more you make spirit and subtle light energy jump through hoops and minutes or hours of validation, the smaller your access is going to be. It's just like when you get on the phone and you call your mom. Do you spend 10 minutes questioning her to make sure it's her? Is it really you, Mom? When was I born? What's my nickname? How did you answer the telephone? What are you wearing today? Your mom's going to be like, listen, if you're going to do this every time you call, freaking email me, all right? And she'll hang up. Maybe, I don't know. So, again, you don't need a nice one. This rose quartz, it's beautiful. It's resonating to the heart chakra. Is it going to make it better or communicate stronger? No. What makes it better and communicate stronger is that you keep the new instrument, the deck of cards, the deck of cards. It's late in the day. The deck of cards, the pendulum, the dowsing rod, the crystal, whatever you're working with, close into your energy field so that you can build a relationship. This is so much fun. I love you guys. Okay, let's see. Hey, Mary. Oh, Tina says her dad was in World War II and he used the dowsing rods to find water. He always used a stick, a Y shape from a fruit one with a seed. He taught me it's so much fun. Water witches. Hey, Jamie, so happy to get to watch you live. Eek! Hi, Jessica. Yay! Hopefully you're doing some dowsing. Yes, we will get through this. Hang in there, guys. Look, I just fiddled with my pendulum and I broke it. It's really old. I'm so surprised it has lasted this long. I'll fix it later. It'll stay together. Behind me? What's behind me? Scaring me. Hi, Cabins. Hi, Tumther. Okay, I wanted to see if you had... Hey, Jennifer. It's too... Vicky, you're too funny. All right, during times of uncertainty, like that of the loan situation, do not ask spirit or use divination tools or use manifestation techniques. Or since you're a psychic, do try not to use it so you can experience it in a more 3D way. That is a wonderful question. I've worked really hard in being normal because it was a goal of mine for a really long time because I was so different. And, you know, it was often one of my wishes just to kind of be seen as normal. So I do not, my first gut instinct is not to ask spirit. It's usually my husband who will say, babe, did you ask? And for the loan experience, every time I calmed down and asked, I knew everything was going to be fine. Like I wouldn't even worry. My heart would stop racing. It's like this really weird flip of a coin. And you know, your head goes, man, you must be cuckoo if you can swing like that. But as soon as I would jump into the application process, talking to the banks, the loaners, the financial people, everybody, they're all revved up because they need to help people immediately because it's first come, first serve. So being in that pool of energy, I went with it because I had to be in it to get the process done. But it was not enjoyable. So I do ask, but I don't ask all the time. And I usually reserve it for, I guess, very strong or deep things. I don't know what to say about it. It's a good question. How are you guys swinging? just woke up from a nap. Chris, spread your little wings and welcome. My pop, says Fiona, used to be able to find water using dowsing rods, and I wish I could have learnt from him. You can do it. He's still around. Maybe we'll have a dowsing rod class. Pendulums. You know how to make them. You know where to keep them. You know, first 21 times using it, you always want to state your intent, ask what's my yes, what's my no, what's my ask that again, and then you have, 5 other ways of programming it. Maybe it's a certain spirit that you want to talk to. Maybe there's an everything's going to be okay answer that you like to hear, and it can move that way for you. But you can have different responses. Write it down so that you remember what it is. Now, sometimes in your 21 days of using a new tool, it will flip on you. Let's say your yes was counterclockwise, and all of a sudden your yes is clockwise. And you're like, what is that? Does it not love me anymore? It has changed. Sometimes your energy changes as well. So it's very good before you do any work is to lay the foundation for it. Normally after 21 days, your pendulum will respond to you the same as it always has. But if you get a new one or an additional one, that one's going to react differently. So you want to go through the 21 days with that one as well. Make sense? You don't got to be fancy. You just got to slow down, do the work. Doesn't matter if you use your primary hand. It does not matter, Jackie. It's that cool. You can switch from back and forth if you want. That does not matter. But what I do find, it's easier when you have one hand at least an inch under the heavy weighted end of the pendulum. If you leave it free form, like over the table and you're answering your question, asking your questions, it's not going to move as fast and be as free. If you've got a piece of paper, you're going to hold the pendulum over the paper. Is it in number 1? Yes or no? Is it in number 2? Yes or no? You know, we have our yeses and nos programmed. There's also ways that you can do on a piece of paper where you can write yes and no. My cat wants in this room so bad. He has not learned how to open the door. Yes and no. So then you could say, hold your pendulum over it and say, what is, does my cat want to come in? Yes or no? We'll see what it does. He's struggling so hard. It's so cute. Oh, he does? Okay. Hi, Zoom Zoom. Isn't that cool? And then you say thank you, and it will stop. Remember, if you're heady and you're like, I really want the answer to be this, I don't need you to focus on it. Because if you think you know what the answer is, you can amplify that pendulum to move in that way. You need to disconnect, my friend. Back away from your thoughts. If you can't do that, watch TV, sing a song. You're welcome to have my row, row, row your boat. If that brings you comfort, go for it. I got my pendulum to work. Barrett, you win! Hi, Jamie, says Bethany. I've been seeing a lot of something out of the corner of my eye since moving. Can you ask what it is? Am I imagining it because I'm tired? No, you're not imagining it. That's new house spirits welcoming you in. There's nothing malicious. They're curious, and they want to see how they can help. So it's a good time to set your boundaries now. Mitzi, it's totally awesome. When I asked to make the movement bigger, the movement gets so much bigger, and it gains momentum. Oh my God. It feels so natural using a pendulum. I'm like squeezing you. It's pretty exciting. Sarah, it seems to be working great. Beatrice, hi. Hi, Vlad. What it means when you get a maybe. Why is the answer unclear? What it depends on. I just asked a friend if it'd be okay with working in a hospital, convid, and it said maybe. So there could be many variables in your question. So maybe it's not an absolute yes or no. So if you asked if the friend would be okay, and it says maybe, because maybe your friend gets convoyed, but it's more of a flu-like, and it's not a transitional moment, but it's hard, but it's okay. So it's saying it's okay. Like, it's not a yes or a no. If your pendulum is asking you to redo your question, break it down. So in this case, the ships that my friend is taking at the hospitals, will those ships my friend take at the hospital keep him safe from convoyed? Yes or no? Like, from getting is it saying convoyed? Are we laughing? Convoyed. I had that record growing up, guys. I listened to it all the time. In fact, I have it now. Corona. I'm just gonna say Corona. Have another sip of grapefruit juice, please. Oh, Justin, thank you very much for the compliment. Jessica's going, yes! Jennifer says, I love my pendulum. My pendulums are so strong. Karen, oh my God. Yay! Peter Evans, are there some topics that don't work for asking? Have never found that to be true, Peter. What I have found to be true is the quality of your question. So Maitland hounds me all the time. The quality of your question equals the quality of your answer. Melissa, I asked above, but feel it's important. Are there questions that are off limits? Oh, Melissa, you and Peter are like vibing on the same. No, there are not questions that are off limits. I like to use my pendulum with people who are pregnant. Are you having a boy or a girl? Is the pregnancy good, healthy? Go through nervous system of the baby, the respiratory, circulatory, the structural system, like all of that, yes or no. You could do it with people who are transitioning. You could do it for anything. Debbie, mine did yes and no and stayed still. Look at that. So I would say the quality of your question does equal the quality of your answer, but also be ready to hear the answer. If you really don't want to know, don't ask. Just don't. Just listen to yourself. It's okay to live with mystery and be in the now. Yes, poor Umi wants his mommy. He gave up and left. Should pendulums be cleansed at all? Like with crystals, or if it has a crystal on it? So pendulums are amplifiers, and a great way that we can clean it is direct sunlight. Sun is awesome. You can also sage it, smoke it, not smoke it, but put smoke on it. You can put it in salt. That's my favorite thing. Traditional table salt, the kind you get for like 79 cents in a big thing. I put it in a bowl and I tuck my crystals and my pendulums and everything in it. Salt is, it's like the little Hoover of energy. It just sucks everything up and recycles it for you. Kathy Quick, it really works. You guys are awesome. Love, love, love you too, Chris. Bethany, you don't need to cross over anybody. They're not that kind of spirit. It's house spirit. Sometimes we get those. Lou, does Maitland look like Kristen Dunst's character in Interview with a Vampire? Oh my God. I know exactly what you're talking about. A little bit, yeah. Her hair's a little bit longer, or is her character's longer? I thought hers was shorter. Oh my God, I'm going to have to watch that again. But I'd say yes. Jamie is correcting me on my pronunciation and enjoying my convoy. Oh, goodness. Oh, thank you guys. Okay, I use my pendulum for guidance. It's amazing. Also when Reiki. Yes, Day. That is such a great point. It's wonderful to use during healing sessions to see where blockages are. There is a book. Oh, I'm not at my office. I always love when I turn around and my library is right there and I'm in this room. Olson, pendulum book. Olson, I'll see if I can find it for you guys. I think it's out of print, but it is a spiral bound notebook, and it has all kinds of things on it. It takes this to the 100th degree. So he'll have complete charts with degrees, 1% all the way to 100%. And so they'll look like a half moon. I think his name is Dan, but sometimes I get it wrong. And he has empty charts in the back. So you can hold your pendulum here in the middle, and then let's say it's a 0%, 25% chance, 50, 75. Did you hear that? I know I'm not alone, but it always freaks me when they move stuff. So you can have different swings that mean different things. He has it for food allergies, mineral needs, body parts, months, astrological signs. It's a really great book, and it's so much fun. It just opens you up to a whole new way of using it. You could write your chakras out and hold your pendulum over the paper and say, you know, swing to the chakra that needs the most attention at this time. And your pendulum will amplify the answer and move towards that chakra. Okay. Did you hear that too? Yeah. House spirit. Now, his name is Sam. My house has a good story. Will you ask where my pendulum is hiding, says Shelly. I made one with Eric M. years ago, and I loved it. They're showing me you actually put it in a box with other things, and then it's pushed into a drawer. So it's somewhere where you organize a bunch of smaller things. It feels like it's very stuffed. It's not very organized, but it's inside something else and then in a drawer. Hopefully that helps. Ooh, pendulum charts. I like that one, Mary. Eric is up to no good again. God, he could be, that turkey. It's a great question. You can ask about your allergies, yes, and about your health and so many other things. Your marital relationships, your kids and what they're going through. Again, when I receive answers, I take it with a grain of salt. I take it like my best friend's talking to me, and then I choose. This is just the way that I work. I choose my own answers. I don't, maybe it's stubborn, but I don't 100% blindly give in to what Spirit says unless I have an agreement of, you know, I agree to do the work, and then I'm going to give of myself, and so I'm going to listen to what they say, and I'm going to follow, which they told me to get online every day during this time and talk to you guys. And I've done my best. I think I've missed 3 days now, but I've done my best. I might not see you guys tomorrow. I'll be working on the Spirit message for the YouTube membership, and I'll be working on putting my classes together for Friday. We're going to have 2 30-minute classes, and those are done on learnitlive.com. You can research Jamie Butler, or you can head to my website, Jamie Butler Medium. It has everything on there. If you're the type of person that just wants to have it all organized and put together, sign up for the newsletter. It happens once a month. Colleen is so good with it. Just everything is in a row. I love her so much. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me and discovering just maybe another way or sharpening your skills in your relationship with your own pendulum. I do encourage you to put together your top 10 list. Top 10 favorite movies, top 10 favorite songs, top 10 favorite anything, because I am going to be calling on you to share your top 10 list. So it's a bit of a homework, and you don't know when it's going to come up. I love seeing you guys here. Thank you so very much for holding space for me while we do pendulum work and have some fun. Remember, guys, it's not woo-woo. It's true. And I'll see you later. And I'm going to go tell whoever's been messing with the stuff behind me to put it back clean. Dust. Thank you very much, spirits. Dust my space. Oh. Bye, Lumineers. Have fun tonight, or this morning for Australia, New Zealand. Love you guys. Have a good day.